Good morning, everyone. It is July 16th of 2023, and I am finally back home. I have been running all over the place as far as doing IT implementations, but it looks like I finally have a normal week coming up. But the purpose for this video is to kind of go over the general health of the market and to talk about some of the new features that I've added within Thinkorswim. Um, I think in my recent video, I shared with you that I have a new scan now for full time frame continuity, not only to the upside and downside for all stocks, but also within my basket. And for those of you who missed that, let's go ahead and take a quick look at this within the scan. So if I want, I can come in here and I can load a scan query for full time frame continuity to the downside. And if you want to set this up, now would be a good time to pause the video and kind of just take a look at this. But basically, what this is the name of the scan. This is where I'm looking all stocks. And then right here, this is the group of conditions that I use in order to do that. And so when I hit scan here, you can see that this actually returns full time frame continuity to the downside for all these stocks. Now, does that mean I want all these stocks? No, because as you go through these, you're only going to see a handful of them that look really, really good. And I went ahead and I did that. So let's go over a few of these that I'm looking at as far as full time frame continuity going into tomorrow. So one of the very first ones that I have is Aflac. And you can see how Aflac is really, really kind of struggling here. It has a hammer for the year, but it tried to go higher on the quarter and now it's pulling back. And the same thing with the monthly here, where we actually have shooters now for the quarter and the month. So how does that play with the smaller time frames like the weekly or the daily? Well, you can see here that we also now have a shooter for the week. And then for the daily here, if I drill down into this on a 6 month, you can see this a little bit better. So right here, we try to go higher for the quarter, the month, and the week. This guy right here. Okay, and this is what I use as far as how I drill down into the bigger time frames on the daily. And just to give you an idea, this line right here, this kind of, I don't know, I don't know what color that really is, but that represents my year. And then I've got kind of a mango color that is my quarter, and then I use purple for my month, and then orange for my week. And you can really just see how Aflac tried to go higher to take the quarter, the month, the week, the daily, and it put in a shooter, and then it paused, and then it followed all the way through to put in a new low for the week. So tomorrow, I want to see if buyers show back up and take out this 70-20. So I'm going to create an alert right here, because this could just be a pullback to go higher, or it could continue down lower. Now, here's the deal. If it continues down lower, I'm not going short because I don't want to chase a 222 reversal down. However, if we go 2-2 reversal up, I want to get into this stock and see if we can take out this 7105. So Aflac is one of them. ALL looks like hell. And what I mean by that, you can see that we have a 2-2 reversal on the year. This is in force. For the quarter, we have a 312 down in force. We did take out this 103.20 range. For the month, we have a 222 continuation. But what I want to show you is on the week here, we triggered 2-2 down the moment we took out 107.97. And so if you want to see what that looks like on a smaller time frame, which is the daily for me, here are your colors to show you that this is the high, or the low for the last year, the previous candle. And normally what I like to do with that, I kind of like to make it just a little bit wider. I should have done that just to let me know that this is the previous low. And then once we got right here, you can see how we just kind of consolidated and they just couldn't take it higher and then they busted it lower right here. And so this was the previous low here for the day, and man, did they ever bust this thing lower. But this is another setup where if they reverse this and they bring it back up, I want to be part of this trade to see if we can reverse and see how high we can go. We do have earnings coming up, and that is one of the catalysts out there where sometimes they will run a stock back up. Now let's look at flow here. Flow, FLO. Same thing here. We have a 2-2 uh, reversal in force right now, a 2-2 continuation on the quarter, a 2-2 on the month, and then you can see that we kind of triggered a 3-2 reversal here on the week. Not a very sexy chart. What I do like though is when you look at this, that we have the year, the quarter, the month, and the week low all represented here right around the same area. So this is one too that if they bounce this thing up in the earnings, I want to trade this trade back up all the way to previous high on the month or on the year, I'm sorry. So I'm going to set an alert here. And so the way I draw support and resistance on a daily is that this is the previous high above the 10, and then this is now the low below the 10. So I'm trying to do this one with one hand and drink coffee at the same time. It's not working so hot. There. That's how I would draw that right there. That's just how I do it, guys. Let's see. I had one more. ZOM. ZOM is an interesting one. Uh, Again, full time frame continuity to the downside here. Put up my headset or my pillow. You can see that we have full time frame continuity to the downside. We got a nice shooter for the year. We've got a 2-2-2 reversal in force on the quarter, and then we have a 2-2-2 continuation for the month. And then we triggered lower for the week with a 232 down right here. The moment we took out 101.56, we triggered lower. And then this is what it looks like on a 6-month chart for the daily with all those levels that we just talked about. And you can see here how we had this nice channel here, just channeling, channeling, channeling. And finally right here we got the shooter that we wanted to go down and down. So if you took this shooter right here, you are at target. You probably took money, and if not, that's fine too. You can see if you can play it all the way down here for the low for the year. But I can tell you, had I been in this trade with the shooter down, I would have been out of this because now I want to see if we still bounce above this channel and take out 104.05. And if we do, I want to trade it back up to this previous high of 107.65. All right, so those are the ones that look terrible to the downside that I'm looking for a bounce. Let's go ahead and let's do something positive, and let's look at the full time frame up for all stocks, and let's see what we get here. So here's my query. And you can see that we have several that are behaving well. One of them is Airbnb. This is one that I drew my big picture on. And let's just talk about this one. We have an inside bar for the year. We've got a 212 in force. Anything above 10 or 131.88 is still in force, and you can see that down here. 222 bullish reversal. And we've got a 2-2 continuation here for the month and a 2-2 continuation for the week. Really, really looking for Airbnb to get up to this 144.63 area. Beautiful reversal right here. And as many of you know, I was in this trade, and then I finally took my money right back here. Um, should have stayed in, but when you're traveling, not so easy sometimes. But it is what it is. Airbnb looks good. I do not chase this. Let's just go through this here, and let's try to figure out a few more that could be a good play going in. Look at ACAD here. I mean, what the hell happened to ACAD? Well, let's look at this. Let's look at this. You can see for the year we had a 2-2 reversal setup, and man, when this thing triggered 2806, it triggered everyone. And then we threw a 2-2-2 continuation for the quarter. For the month, we went 2-1-2 up. And then look at the pivot machine gun here on the week and how we just took all this out. But yeah, definitely something happened here with ACAD. And this is something that I've always told people within the group. You don't know what's going to happen next. No one does. I mean, had you known ACAD would do this, you would have gotten in right here when it triggered, and or here when it triggered. And sometimes you just got to get lucky in this game. You just have to throw some money in and see what happens. And look at that. If you had taken the trigger here at 24.91, uh, you would have gotten this right here. So congrats to those who traded that. I did not. AEHR, same thing. I mean, look at how this thing just exploded. And the thing that's really helped me on this strat is that I have certain things that I'm looking for now, such as full time frame continuity. And that is so important that you understand what is happening on these bigger pictures. AEHR, people can say, oh man, was an earnings play that caused all this. But look at where AEHR bounced off of support back here in April. And this is an example of a stock that just kept bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. And eventually, I mean, we did TTO here, but man, what a trade, right? What a trade. And so these are the ones that we're trying to identify and take long positions with. So let's see if we can find something here. So many TTOs. Amazon was another beautiful TTO. So let's look at this here. Let's look at the cause and effect. So the low on Amazon going into the year, we had to take out 171.40. So let me drill this back, and I'll just let you jump into my mindset here for a little bit, okay? So 8169 was where we were. So if I draw this on the BIG picture, which I've already done, we're going to see that right here. This is the low for the year. Again, that's kind of the blue color that I use. I got to figure out what the color that is. But look at what happened when we challenged this previous low right here. We got the reversal that we wanted, and we just kept going and going, and then we eventually got this exhaustion gap. This is what I call an exhaustion gap. And then we sold off for a while, and then we reversed, and now we've just been going up, 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 and away. And I actually got into Amazon, tweeted this right here when we went reversal right here, 2-2 reversal right here at 129.10. A lot of people in the group said they weren't going to take this trade, and I said it triggered. We should be in this trade. Your stop should be right down here at this 126 area. And I ended up trading this all the way back up to here. So my trade is over on this. I wanted to set back up. That was the move that I wanted into earnings. Doesn't mean that it won't go higher. Amazon looks good though. That's just how I trade. APAM, beautiful reversals. You can see all the pivots in here, the reversals. And that's what I want people to start to see. I want you to start to see the 2-2 reversals, whether it be to the upside or to the downside. And that's what I'm looking for. You could almost say that Apollo commercial right here. we triggered two reversal right here. Uh, this one, the trigger on this was 1173. We have earnings coming up at the end of the month. But what I don't like is that we still are inside year. But if you look at how all that plays with the week, we went two up. We've got a 2-2 continuation on the month. And then also for the quarter, we triggered 2-2 reversal here. So this one actually isn't bad. This isn't bad. I'm going to add this to my watch list. And let's just kind of draw the lines in here because I have a lot of people who want me to go over how I do that. So previous year candles 1455. So let's just do this. And it doesn't matter where you put it because you're just going to double click on this and adjust it. Understand that, you know, everything doesn't have to be exact as far as where you put the line. And then from there, I'll just build this out. And you can see that this previous high, I mean, it's way up there for the previous year. Let's go ahead and let's get an idea where this was for the year, the current year. So this one, let's see, hit the space bar twice, that'll duplicate it, then you double click on it, and that'll allow you to get in here and change this. All right, so this is the current year high. And then with this one again, because this is the previous year, I'm going to go ahead and make that a width of 2. Just to let me know visually that this is the previous high. So let's go ahead and let's finish this out, 858. So there's that. Here's for the quarter, 1072. And we're going to change the color on this. And then for the month, there's also here 1072. So I like to draw myself, put a note right there, quarter, month, low. And then you can see right here that we tried to go higher at 1188, but what I'll do, because now we're down to the daily, this is the 1188. This is where price closed above the 10, and that's the high right there. That's my high, and then this right here would be my low. So this actually is quarter, month, and daily low. So I'll try the trade within this range right here. I know that might be confusing right now, but you know, the more you hang around me, the more you're going to pick it up. And if you have questions, let me know. And so this is one that I'll try to trade. Above here is my trigger, or the trigger right here was 1173. So we already triggered into this trade. Not a huge move, but who's to say that it can't continue back up through here and hit target, because this would actually be target as well, this 1275. So I will make a note of that as well. So this would be quarter target. And there we go. Now we have our targets defined for this trade. So let's just keep going through. We'll see if we can find something here worthwhile. Look at how this pharmaceutical company went 2 up, 2 down, and then we put in this nice hammer here. I don't trade biotech a whole lot, but the setup is there if you want it. AVGO, that's a big boy. And now I'm just looking for things that look good to the upside. Brown. A lot of two ups on this earnings coming up. I think we've had our run into earnings and we're done with it. Carrier is interesting here. Carrier Global, we went inside and up, and then we went 2 and 4 for the week, 2 up for the month. Uh, Quarter is in force too. And then for the year, you can see that we're trying to target this 54.64, which would then trigger 2 reversal, hopefully back up to 58.89. That's an interesting chart. I can tell you right now that I'm not going to chase this thing. Let's pull this back on a 2 year and you can see this action even better. But you can see how we're trying to get back up into this area in here. This was a good trade right here. Once we took out this 49.26, and I'm going to just show you this action right here. When we took out this previous high right there, you can see where we tried to go higher and we pulled back. This is the TTO that Rob always talks about. And then we set up this beautiful reversal to go higher at 49.06. This was the trade right here. That was the run right there. Look at that. They moved it from 49 to 53. $4 move right there. Don't chase it here, guys. Don't chase it. Let's get this back to daily at least 1 year. And so now we're just going to continue to try to find things. If I see something, I'll let you know. But so many of these have had such a major run into earnings that now we're just kind of looking for things to possibly fail. CHX, this is another one, 2 up on the year, 2 up on the quarter, 2 continuation on the month, and 2 continuation on the week. Earnings, right? Ran it right into earnings. I hope you guys are picking up on this theme. A run into earnings. Very common. CMCSA, this is one that I ended up going long, and I got out once we took out this previous high. And you can see that we reversed quickly right back down. What do we have coming up? Earnings, 727. So this was the reversal that I played the first time. And then I took some money out right here. And then once we reversed here, I sold the rest of my position. Reversal here on CME 2 days ago. Costco. Look at Costco. Inside year, 2 up for the quarter, 2 up for the month, 2 up for the week. Here was your TTO, guys. This was the reversal right here that Rob talks about. Inside and up, up, up. Big boy, though. That's an expensive stock. Look at all these just go. CPRT 22222. Full time frame continuity. Amazing. This is one that's in force too right now. We got 2 reversal for the year, 92.36. But we're inside on the quarter, the month. Did go 2 up for the week. And then what do we have? Earnings. Next week is going to be a very, very interesting week, or the end of this month. Another one tried to go up, CTSH. Unbelievable. This one triggered yesterday or on Friday. Cube Smart went 2 reversal on the daily, 2 up for the week, 2 up for the month. So those are in force. The question is can we go 2 up on the quarter? Don't like the quarter setup because we have 2 reversal set up and then we're inside year. Carvana is one that I took yesterday or on Friday. It triggered me in and I'm still in this trade. My stop was the low of the day. This one will be interesting. This one continues to run 2 up on all time frames except for the year. The year has a pretty big candle on it, but man, I would love to see this thing rip above 44.64 and take out this target right there. And I know a lot of people hate Carvana and they continue to buy puts against it. And that is exactly what I want. I want them to continue to buy puts because we started talking about Carvana in this area right here as a group, and several of us have traded this all the way up through here, which is awesome because it just keeps setting up. It just goes up and then it reverses and then it sets up and it reverses and then it sets up and reverses. And this stretch right here was an amazing run. And so we have the 2-2 reversal that triggered, but we'll see what happens. I mean, at this point right now, this is a condo play for me. Whatever I have in here, I can just let it run. I've made good money in Carvana, so I'll just let this one run. We'll see what happens. It could go all the way to zero, guys. I mean, you've got to keep an open mind about that. Dash, no, no. DHI is a good example of what happens when a stock goes into full time frame continuity or in force. Look at the reversal here. Let me get in here closer with the 6 months so you guys can see it. So here was the run, right? Here was the shakeout. We ran, we rested, we ran, and then we dumped right here. And then right here was the reversal at 116.21. And look at how they moved it up right here. And by doing that, we went 2 up on the week, 2 up on the month, 2 up on the quarter, and then we put this back into force right here at this 110 area. So just look at these levels, and something that I've never really pointed out is that with Thinkorswim, you've got this great area here, or this option that allows you to take a look at how the crosshairs actually synchronize with this entire move. So right there you can see that's where we kind of came into play. You can just see where these crosshairs play and synchronize together. Look at this. When this thing moved, it moved across all time frames right there. And that option, if you want that option, if you just go to your chart settings here, you've got this option right here, the synchronize crosshair positions. Check mark that. That'll help you. It's a really great setting. Um, let's just keep going through this. I could talk all day on this. You guys know I love to give back to the Strat community. Brinker is trying to reverse here. Not my favorite setup. And this is how fast you'll get at this after you do your homework consistently. You're going to look at these setups and see exactly what you want to trade and what you don't. And the bottom line is that there's only a handful of great stocks that are doing what I call the setups to where they move higher or lower. And those are the ones that, Rob always tells you that you want to focus on and trade to the upside or to the downside because that's all you need. You really don't even need to do anything else. So let's change this up here. Let's go to full time frame continuity, not from all stocks, but let's just kind of shorten this up and let's go to my basket now. And you can see that by doing that, that just eliminated a lot. So let's start from the bottom up here. Look at the price action in Western Digital here. Crazy as heck. Urban is setting up for 2-2 reversal here. And let's look at this here. You can see for the year we have it in force. Quarter or the quarter we have 2-2 continuation. For the month we have 2-2 continuation. And then for the week this is in force too. So if Urban goes above 34.68, I want to get into this trade. And just based upon the smaller time frame here, uh, by the way, how I draw things, this is your magnitude right now for support and resistance on this trade. right there. That's pretty wide. But I want to watch this one going into Monday. I'll come back through and I'll draw my levels after the fact. I'm not going to do that again for you guys. Let's take a look at UPS here. UPS has a 2-2 reversal setup. On the bigger time frames, we have 2-2-2 continuation for the week, but on the month, this is the one that's catching my attention where we have a 2-1-2 triggered. One would say at 182.88 it already hit target here, but that doesn't mean that we can't come up here and trigger in the rest of the people and possibly come up and fill this gap. Love gap plays too. Um, Inside quarter though, inside year, not my favorite setup. But again, I mean, if this thing triggers 185.67, I might buy a few just to see what happens. Stop would go below the day, the low for the day right here. Um, like I said, not my favorite play. No, Tesla, no. Silver is just running wild right now. Shake Shack setting up a 2-2 reversal. Ah, Shake Shack here. Look at this. Okay, so for the year, we have two up for the year. We've got a 2-2-2 continuation for the quarter. We had a 3-2 breakout at 72.11 for the month. And now we're up in here at a 2-2 continuation. But we did put in a 3 for the week here. So if Shake Shack triggers above 80.39, that would trigger in the weekly. Come on, get this set up. So the weekly would trigger you in. So that's the weekly participation group. And then for the daily here, 79.60 would be your trigger right here. That would trigger 2-2 reversal. Like that. I've liked Shake Shack all the way back here. It's a very thin stock, but you know what? So many of these restaurant stocks have been moving well. Um, this is one that I've been in for quite a while, and I've shared this with the group. First Watch Restaurant Group. I just like this one long term. I've been in it forever. Don't ask me why, but I mean, we triggered 2-2 reversal here, and we just keep going up. And so hopefully we'll get to 2-2 for the month, 2-2 for the quarter, and then look at what it's trying to do for the year, guys. This is a thin one too, but if we take out 1895 here, we could trigger participants and get back up to this 2551. Great restaurant. They just seem to be drawing more and more people in. Really reminds me of this guy, if you remember this dude, Chipotle. I mean, look at how Chipotle started down here, right? And then we triggered in, and then we just ran, and then we corrected a little bit, and then we triggered again and got everyone in. But that's Chipotle. I mean, that's a $2,000 stock, but just keep in mind, um, I always tell people I was trading Chipotle back here in the $100 range, and this is when I was pretty naive about the market. And man, I wish I would have just held on to what I call condo plays or a few runners, because this one would have paid out well. So that's the secret. You got to just know when to stay in and let people or let stocks run. Rocket is another one that I'm in long term. This is another condo play. Nothing wrong with this one. It just needs to rest a little bit in the earnings. Pins. Pins is interesting because we have the pullback on the daily, the two up for the week, the two for the month, the two for the quarter up, but it's inside year. Uh, this one could get going. Geez, we started talking about pins back here in this area. And I think several in the group are still in this trade. So congrats to those who are still holding. Uh, Pulte Group, another one that TTO and went higher. And when you have full time frame continuity on these bigger time frames, this is what you're waiting for right here on the quarter or for the daily. This is what you're waiting for on the quarter. You're just waiting patiently for this to TTO and set up this 2-2 rev or 2-1 reversal right here. This is what you're doing. When you see this up here, that's so beautiful, you're just waiting patiently. I can't stress that enough. Oracle, nothing wrong with Oracle. Just resting after a huge move. Look at what it did for the year here. 212 right here at 89 um, 78. And look at how this thing just went on a tear. Let me back this up right here. You can see this. Let's just go back to the synchronization crosshair. And you can see right here how this thing went rev right there. And look at this run. Run, rest, run, rest, run, rest, run. And so now we're resting in this phase right here. And I think Oracle can get back up here. That's that run, rest, run, RRR, my logo that I talk about. Just a beautiful, beautiful move. MCW is trying to go 2 up on all time frames, except for it has a lot of work to do on the year. You can trade it, but just understand it's not true full time frame continuity. That's breaking out for the year. We're really trying to identify the ones that are 2 up for the year. Lithium LTHM, as you guys know, I'm holding this one long term. Uh, it just looks good to me, and if we could get a 3 in for the year, oh my, right? Anything can happen. LNTH, ITWN, Illinois Tools. This one, look, 2 up for the year, 2 up for the quarter, 2 up for the month, 2 up for the week. And now we've got this beautiful, beautiful pullback where we hammered. And if we go above 249.61, you want to know about it. I want to know about it because that would put everything back into force. And we're almost done here, and then we'll call it a day. Appreciate everyone hanging out with me and joining me on the Discord. Google inside year, but you can see now we triggered up on the week. We're trying to go 3 up for the month. Google, I'm not in love with, and I know a lot of people who like to trade it because it's Google. Setup isn't there, guys. FTNT, 2 up in force for the year, 2 up in force for the quarter, for the month, and for the week. And on the daily, you can see where we got triggered into this trade. You would have been triggered in right here at this 78.40 level, like this one. Fortinet, as you know, is right in my wheelhouse. I'm an IT guy, and in my opinion, they make a great product, so I'm not too shocked by this move. And we have earnings coming up on the 3rd here. Like it. eBay, another technology stock, in force on all time frames except for the year. The year is still lagging. It's got a lot of work to do for this inside year right here. But right now, for the quarter, for the month, week, and for the daily, it's in force. So eBay, if we can get above 46.72 tomorrow, I definitely want to know about that. So let's get this over here to my watch list. DXCM, this is another example in force for the year. 2-2 reversal. 2-2 continuation on the quarter and on the month. And then look at how we just blew everyone away right here on the weekly. 128.52 was the trigger, and everyone thought we're going lower. But if you look at this again, just where it lines up with the crosshairs, you can see right here how we went up, we rested, and then we got triggered into this trade right there. And then look, we just ran. Beautiful. Missed this one, but that's what we're looking for. That's beautiful. Docs, no, not too interesting. Well, I take that back. Docs is interesting here because when you look at this, you can see how we TTO'd right here. We have this inside day. 2 up for the week is in force. We've got 2 up in force for the month. So the real question is can we come up here and reclaim this 37.10 for the quarter? And that's where it would be right there in that area right there. 37.10. This one might be worthwhile. We're still inside year. Just be aware of that. I'm going to watch this one. Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree. Let's clean all this old crap up. Clear drawing set. Just kind of a mess. We have 2 up in force for the week, 2 up in force for the month. Inside quarter. Next. Not my trade. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Didn't mean to make this video so long, but that's how I go through and identify what I want to watch. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Join the Discord server. It's free. If you have any questions, you can reach out there. If you want to work on something together, one-on-one, I've met with several of you. As I have time, I will be more than happy to give back to this great community and help you. Until then, just live, laugh, love, enjoy life, and trade them well. We'll talk to you later.